Okay, so who's been the biggest influence in your life?
Hmm. The biggest influence. Well, I have to say it was a former boss I had. She she was really a tough cookie, right?
Mhm.
She grew up in Kentucky and like in some holler somewhere, like poor, worked her butt off in
Mhm.
factories and
Mhm.
when I met her, she was in the sort of second half of her career, and she had started doing union organizing, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And she was just such a strong woman, really big on demanding what we deserve, in the workplace as
Gotcha.
women, and just being tough, walking in the room with total confidence, and just watching that and knowing where
Yeah.
she had come from and her struggle, and just learning from her that like when you walk into a room and you might feel like, oh, I don't belong here, or these people have money and I don't, and all of that nonsense.
Mhm.
No, she didn't let none of that. She was like, I'm here, I know why I'm
Wow.
here, and I got business
Good for
here, right? And
her.
just being real confident.
Mhm.
And so I learned a lot from her just watching that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds amazing. I would
Yeah.
like to meet her. Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Uh, so let me ask you this: what's something small that you're proud of,
Hmm.
but nobody else probably would even notice it?
Wow, that's a good question. Small that other people might not notice. Huh. Well, I got kind of a silly thing. I have a tattoo,
What was it?
and this is my little tattoo. It
Yeah.
actually is pretty big. So for years, I had wanted one, but I was scared because I don't like pain.
Mhm.
And I was like, it's gonna hurt. And mostly you can't see it unless I wear short sleeves, but it was kind of a big deal for me because it was like one of those things that I got to step out on some faith, and like I designed it myself. It has meaning to it, so I put a lot
Absolutely.
into it, and yeah, it was just it symbolized something where I was kind of afraid, but I stepped out and said, no, you know what? Let me have some courage here and really do this. And so now I'm kind of like, I feel good about it. Now, of course, nowadays, everybody, I see, it feels like everybody has tattoos nowadays, but I come
I
from an
know.
era where
I know. It's
women didn't really
taboo.
get
Yeah.
tattoos much, right? And
Mhm.
so, yeah, it's just a little thing, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like
Hmm.
it. If you could give your younger self
Hmm.
advice, what would it be?
Right. Well, I think we had a conversation before about this, and I jokingly said, lift with the legs, not with the back, right? Because over time, I was always like I think a lot of addicts are like this. We're kind of invincible. We think we're just gonna survive anything because
We have.
we have, right? We've literally survived daily near death experiences, right? Like
Mhm.
putting ourselves in constant
Mhm.
danger
Mhm.
kind of makes you over
Mhm.
time feel like you're invincible or just like whatever. Okay, a car almost hit me. Now, as I get older, now I'm like, okay, let me look both ways. I don't want to get hit by a car. Like a lot more careful and recognizing my mortality. So, oh gosh, I forgot the original question.
No, no, you're good. You're actually you're answering it. It's just what would you
Oh yeah,
tell
tell
your
your younger self,
mhm.
right? Well, I would say, be careful, crazy woman. No, I did live like dangerously. I'm really, fortunate to have survived my own choices. But I did, you know, I had to deal with a lot when I got here. I had hepatitis, like A, B, C, D, F, G. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I had to
Mhm.
like. It took some years to recover from my using. Fortunately, they came out with medicines more recently, and I no longer have hepatitis C. But I
Yeah.
had it for decades, clean.
Yeah.
Because it's the kind of virus. It's a virus,
Yeah.
and if you don't take care of it, it will eventually kill your liver, right? So as recovering addicts, there's a lot of areas that we have to like take care of or fix
Mhm.
from our
Youth.
crazy wild days
Mhm.
out there being crazy. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. So this is like the question that I like to wrap up. Um,
Mm.
and it's really the reason for the show. We're not therapists, but we are therapeutic.
Yeah.
We have had a lot of experience, so
Mm.
we want to help people.
Yeah.
You might be going through it, so we want to help you. So this next question is,
Mm.
what advice would you give someone who's watching this who might be struggling with
Yeah.
their addiction or, you know, not knowing whether to stop or keep going? What advice would you give
Yeah.
them? You can look right in the camera and let them know.
Well, I would say believe. Believe that this thing works. Nowadays, there is more evidence than ever that people can live a full, long life completely abstinent. And
Mhm.
beyond that, a life of recovery, right?
Mhm.
So, total abstinence early on felt really depressing to me. Like, what do you mean? I don't get to have
Do
fun
nothing.
and use?
Mhm.
Because it was, of course, in the beginning it was fun until it wasn't, right? But you have to understand that there's a lot of us out here that do live a life of recovery, right?
Mhm.
And it is possible for anyone, but you got to do the work and you
Absolutely.
got to commit to the total abstinence piece. And
Absolutely.
I got to tell you that in the beginning, I just kind of focused on just for today. Let me just do what I'm supposed to do today. And guess what? 28 plus years later,
Mhm.
I still do that with my recovery. I say, I'm just going to stay clean today. That's all I got to worry about. And soon your days will turn into weeks, and your weeks will turn into months. And there'll be a moment where even thinking about using just sounds crazy. Why would I want
Yeah.
to do that to myself
Yeah.
and the people who love me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
that can take a while to get there, but we promise it does come,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
So just hold on. It does get better. It will get better
Yeah.
without your permission, and don't cheat yourself of what your dreams could be.
Mhm.
I have seen people's dreams come true time and again, in the
Mhm.
12-step world, man. I mean,
Absolutely.
I have my own experience of my own
Yeah.
dreams coming
Absolutely.
true.
Absolutely.
When I was a newcomer, kind of started getting back into college, we had some assignment where we were to vision what did we want for ourselves professionally, right? It was a visioning exercise. What is your fantasy job? What is that thing that you would love to do? And I wrote it out. And you know what? A couple years later, the professor that read it linked me up with an internship at City Hall. And I got to work for a vice mayor for 4 years because
Yeah.
I had said, I want to do change. I want to do policy change. Where did I learn that?
Yeah.
Policy Committee of Narcotics Anonymous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is where the rules are set.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Right?
Yeah.
Who's running this? Oh, it's
Yeah.
policy. Okay, that's where the power is. That's how we
Yeah.
make change, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you got to put it out in the universe. Claim what you want, and get it, right?
Absolutely.
You
That's
can get
powerful.
it. It can take
Absolutely.
years, maybe, before you get there. But yeah,
Absolutely powerful.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying yes to the
Mm-hmm.
show. Thank you for all of the insight, and that kind of concludes Chop It Up.
Chop it
But
up.
yeah, stay tuned.